Welcome to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously. My name is Lindsay, and with me here today is
Melinda Carroll,
Janette, Rallison,
Torsha Baker.
Brock Booher, and this episode is brought to you by Writers Clearinghouse. Visit writerch.com to kickstart your writing career.
All right, today we are at the Tempe Library, and we are recording live in front of an audience. This is part of the annual Ready, Set, Write mini conference. All right, and you know how the show goes, at least I hope. I mean, if you've been watching for 80 episodes, then I hope you know how the show goes.
Well, you need to pass the buzzer. You need to pass the buzzer down to Janette. You're reading, right?
I am reading.
Uh-oh.
So I am going to read today, and if the rest of the panel thinks that this submission would be rejected by an agent or editor, they will do that. Hopefully only once, because the rules say just once. Janette.
Sometimes some of us get carried away with our critiques. Can't be helped. We could just switch buzzers. Does it once? Yeah.
Only one buzzer.
Okay.
Per buzzer, right?
All right, so this episode, this story comes from, this first page is from Call Me Henbane. The floor felt cold underneath my crossed legs. I leaned my elbows on my knees and pulled at the blue threads of the belt tied around my waist. The clock on the wall ticked louder than the whisper of Sensei Damar's footsteps as he paced in front of the class. If I didn't look up, he wouldn't choose me. I didn't want him to choose me. I continued to fidget with the end of my belt until Sensei stopped, his dark, bare feet cloaked with the white cuffs of his gi. What? Maeve. Oh, I should know that because I have a niece named Maeve. Okay, so Maeve. I squeezed my eyes shut and pinched my mouth together, but only for a second. If I hesitated too long, he'd make me do push-ups. So I got to my feet and raised my chin as though I'd love nothing more than to spar with whoever my teacher wanted to throw at me. He stroked his close-cropped, graying goatee as he surveyed the other students. And Jimmy. Air rushed out of my lungs. Why would Sensei choose that cocky jerk to fight me? Jimmy had 50 pounds and 5 more years on me, and loved to pick on the younger students. After hearing his name announced with mine, Jimmy grinned, his crooked teeth sticking out like bricks on a broken road. We put on our safety gear. Then he swaggered to his place on the floor. He cracked his knuckles in his right hand and tightened his belt, his purple belt. I looked down at my blue belt. I was miles behind this guy. I looked over at Sensei Damar. Did you really want me to fight someone with so much more training than I had?
Nice.
Good.
Wow, no buzzers.
There was
That's great.
there was the one. There is a formatting error
Yeah,
that you can't
saw
see.
that too.
It's minor. Just indent that last paragraph.
That is my fault.
Oh well, there you go. See, so I'm glad I didn't
Because I
buzz
wasn't
it.
That is my
ready.
fault.
Well, yeah, I guess, Randy. So
It will show up on the screen behind us looking correct.
okay,
Oh,
good. Well, we got that problem solved. I thought there was good voice with this. You know, the character we could realize that they wanted to avoid getting chosen to spar, and the way the description, you know, the crooked teeth sticking out like bricks on a broken road. You know, those are all good descriptions that kind of get you in the head of the character very smoothly.
Yeah, I thought it had really great, good voice.
I really like the tension too, you know, the tension of, you know, is he gonna choose me? I want him to choose me, you know, but then she's like, he chose me, and now, you know, it shows she's brave, right? Because she raises her chin and she's like, well, I got chosen, so now I'm gonna take it like a champ, you know, and I really like that. We get a lot about who she is and that deep point of view, which we all talked about today. So I really enjoyed that. And then Jimmy, you know, I love that you threw an obstacle at her right away, that us as readers are gonna go, how is she gonna get out of this one? How beat up is she gonna be? So yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love the teeth sticking out like bricks
Yeah.
on a broken road, because that's just not your average description.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that, and also the cuffs, you know, feet cloaked with the white cuffs of his, I don't even know what that is, but.
The key is the
Yeah,
white
that's- yeah.
uniform
That's
that
what I'm
you
thinking.
typically wear. I
Okay.
did taekwondo in high school, so I can relate.
For context clues, that's what I was guessing, but yeah, I mean, because it was description, but it didn't feel like cliched description, so I I did too. There was the one thing, at first, I wasn't sure of the time of when this took place. And then as I looked back up and you talk about the clock on the wall ticking louder, that, because it wasn't that, anyways, I missed that. Sorry. That, obviously, it's present day, and which you find out pretty quickly later on. But,
Voice shows present day too.
the voice does.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But we got a
That's
little bit
true.
later on though too more.
The thing, in that second paragraph when you said, and this is just a little thing, I thought it was awesome, I didn't buzz, I would definitely read, I wanted to know what happened. But when she says, if I didn't look up, he wouldn't choose me. I didn't want him to choose me. I don't know that you need that, because it's very obvious that she doesn't want him to choose her. That was a little thing that just stood out to me even as you were reading, because I'm like, well, yeah, you're looking down, you're telling the reader that as long as you avoid.
You showed it without telling it, and
Yep.
then you told us. So you
Yes.
can take out the telling because you already have the showing. Plus, there's two chooses back to back, which
Yeah, yeah.
is
So I would just take
aesthetically
that out.
not as nice, but
Yeah.
It's a little thing.
Little
very
thing.
little.
Okay, and because we're going over little things.
Some of us are.
And so this is fine as it is, but you did, and this has become such a trigger word for me. I use it in my
I
own.
knew it. I
I
knew
use
it
it in
was
my
Triggered
own
Janette
book.
again.
I was waiting for it right there.
Right, so there's two, there's like
And
footsteps as he paced, and then there was another one.
The
My
goatee
chin-
as he surveyed.
Oh, yeah, well, this was my chin as, oh, no, that one's mine, so then, yeah, the other one. The one
Some
you
of
said.
us get triggered by
The
spiders
green
or
goatee
heights. Jeanette gets triggered by ass.
But only it's like PTSD, okay?
Can't have more
PT
than one on
No,
the
that's
front of
PT ass.
As,
As-
whoa,
yeah.
wait, what was that? Careful.
ASD.
Watch your asses.
What are you talking about? Anyway, where was I?
Oh, we
yes.
don't know.
So,
As you were talking, we were interrupting.
I was suddenly wondering where this was going. Okay, so this is fine, but it just didn't make me wonder since she used it twice on the first page. She does know she's not supposed to overuse that, right? Like that. So I would just check, do a search and find, and just okay. There's people looking at me blankly. I guess I should explain. Okay, so it's new writers very often overuse the word as, and it kind of becomes a red flag to editors and agents and
Janette.
especially
And
me,
Janette.
because yeah, you see, like if somebody uses it twice on the first page, I'm wondering if on the third page it's going to be there 5 times. So you just, and a lot of times, and I don't know why we as writers want so badly to tell people that things are happening simultaneously, and sometimes it's fine. It's a lot of times better if you have to use it to put it at the front of the sentence, because there's a whole chapter on this in the book called Self-Editing for the Fiction Writer by King and Brown, and they do a good job of telling you why you shouldn't overuse it. But partly it is because I have seen it, like really 5 times within a couple of paragraphs, and any construction you overuse that much is bad. But that one just particularly starts to, feel off.
And one day Jeanette will tell us a story about her deep emotional wound with ass.
No, now as I'm reading my own stuff
Did you just
published,
say ass?
yes, you can use it sometimes.
You can,
But
it's just anything in
I-
moderation, right?
Yeah, now I see it and I think, should I have done that? Right, it's probably, I have to tell myself,
There
no,
are
it's
published
okay.
books, like recent published books, that overuse it like crazy, and when you're listening to the audio version, it sticks out 10 times
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You're like,
Go on to Melinda here.
It stops the flow. If you're having 2 things simultaneously happen, and you have that as in the middle, you have 2 phrases, and the reader reads this phrase of what's happening, and then they hear that this one is simultaneously happening, it automatically takes their brain back to the first one, and so instead of being forward moving in the reading, it stops the flow of the reading. So that's why you can usually just take it out. The clock ticked on the wall, his footsteps, echoed over it or whatever. You don't normally have to have the as there, but that's one of the biggest reasons why is it just stops the flow of the reading.
Randy?
What is your thoughts on that?
I think we should vote on it, so that
Okay.
we don't
and this
talk
could be an
anymore about
and,
as.
even.
Yeah.
So I will start, I'm gonna give it a ready, even though you should probably take Janette's advice and check into those as's.
I also am gonna give it a ready.
And also, ready.
Ready.
Just as everyone else did. I'm gonna give it a ready. I think it's a really good piece. I'd send it in.
Awesome, good job.
Give it a ready as I move the paper forward.
That's right.
As we conclude.
Okay, so what does the audience think? Were we right on that?
Yes, they're all nodding.
They're
They're
nodding. So
As the audience nodded,
Yes.
okay.
How many
Okay,
ways to
so-
work that sentence into every
If you have any comments you'd like to share with us, especially if you think that we have heard enough lectures on as from Janette, please feel free to post that one.
I'm guilty of a couple of them too when Jeanette wasn't here, just because I was missing Jeanette, you know?
That's okay.
So, hey, bring her into the conversation.
Okay.
Ask Janette to say.
Otherwise, until next time, get ready.
Get set.
Right.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And don't forget that we have a new sponsor this year. Our friend Ben Grange with Writers Clearinghouse is offering all the prize support for this year. And the winner each month will get a first 10-page manuscript evaluation for free.
Yep, and then the winner of the full year is going to get a full manuscript critique.
Wow.
From agents and editors, guys. These are top guys.
That have worked in the industry and really know their stuff. I mean, that's big. Okay, and then you can find out more about Ben Grange and the Writers Clearinghouse at www.writersch, as in clearinghouse, writersclearinghouse.com.